Do you ever find yourself stuck in patterns or habits or behaviors that just don't align with the person who you'd like to be? I learned about self-sabotage a couple of years ago, and to me it was like a light bulb thing going off. Because what it actually is, it is our body's way to protect where we are right now. Like our lives, we are wired to not want change. We don't want things to move forward. Like no matter how good it is, our bodies and our egos want us to keep us stuck where we're at because that is safe and that is predictable. From what I understand, it is more rooted in a sort of self-protection mode. Our ego and our body is trying to protect us. And so what if we approached this self-sabotage theme, this topic, a bit more compassionately? What if we approach ourselves a little bit more kindly and lovingly instead of berating ourselves for every time that we can't seem to make the change or start the new habit? What if we first try to see why it's there in the first place? So that's what our little practice is about today. We are currently in our self-awareness and self-reflection month. And I'm very excited to do this with you today because God knows I need it. I have a lot of weird habits and patterns that keep standing in my way. So let's do a little digging. Let's befriend our dark corners a little bit today. And let's have some fun while we do it. Welcome to my living room table. Welcome to my living room. We are keeping the bars very low today. This is just going to be a quick little practice that you can do anywhere, anytime. You don't need any special supplies for this. I am using just a bunch of colored pencils that I have right here. I have chosen colors that are calming to me, that are soothing to me. And I have a little Sharpie pen because I'd like to write over it once I've colored things in. Now, what you can see here in my journal is I have drawn a bunch of circles. I invite you to make something similar. If you want to do it exactly like the one that I have on my page right here, I do have a free template in the description, which is completely free. You don't need to sign up or give you an email or anything. You can just download it, and then you can use it to trace it if you'd like. But the important part here is that you have 4 circles. So you have one outer circle, then you have one like medium inner circle, then you have another little circle-y thing, and then you have a circle. Well, you get the point here, right? So we have 3 circles that are like just rings, and then we have one complete circle in the center. What we're going to do is meet our self-sabotage with a bit of curiosity and with a bit of kindness, and just see what is actually going on behind the scenes. Because in most cases, it's not about us being lazy. It's not about us not being able to do things, but we are just kind of going on autopilot on things, on patterns and habits that used to protect us, but now might be standing in our way because we're growing, we're healing, we want to move forward with our lives. And so for me personally, the best thing that I did for myself was trying to find underneath what am I running on? What are the old beliefs and the habits and patterns that I'm running on that don't serve me anymore? But I had to do this in a way that was gentle and kind and graceful, not harsh or disciplined or anything. I needed to meet myself with kindness first. So the only thing I invite you to think about for now is that you are the center here. This is your inner child. This little circle in the center, this is your inner child. This is your younger self, the one who just wants to be loved, the one who just wants to be protected and be safe. This is you. And then we're going to start working with the layers right here. But first, we're going to do a bit of coloring. So we have ourselves in the center. This is our pure, innocent, sweet little, the one I just described is in the center. Now, we're going to start working with a layer on the outside. And for this first layer, I invite you to think about what habits, what patterns do you know that you have that you don't feel like is serving you? So for example, when you are stressed, do you start eating? Or maybe you stop eating? Or if an opportunity shows up, do you completely panic and freak out and run the opposite direction? Take a moment here to reflect on yourself. What are the patterns and the habits and the behaviors that you have that are not serving you anymore? And whilst you think about it, take a color and just color in this circle. And it doesn't have to be pretty. It doesn't have to look like anything. It's literally just a circle. that you're going to fill in with a bit of color in your journal or in your sketchbook. I am not even going to try to make this an even or pretty layer. It's not about that. I just like combining self-reflection and healing with the practical action of making art or doing something with color. I feel like I managed to express and understand myself better through it. So that's why we're doing it. See, I'm even going outside of my lines. If this looks like a child is doing it, then it's perfect. That's what you want. So just color this in. What are the patterns and the habits that you have that no longer serve you, but still keep being in the way? What are the things that you do that might feel like self-sabotage? And we're not here to scold ourselves. You're not here to analyze yourself and then be, hey, like, why are you doing this and this and that? No, we are just bringing it to the surface. We're just shining a bit of light on it. That's it. We're just meeting ourselves with curiosity and asking, why is it there? Like so. So I got my circle. And what I'll do now is the things that popped up in my head, I'll just write this in the outside circle. As you can see, I didn't really place my words right. But again, this is not about making it looking pretty or anything. It's just combining the colors with the words and bring awareness to what you're currently doing. So I, for example, have, when I'm stressed, I reach for my phone. Knowing that when I reach for my phone, I get even more stressed, because the things that usually stress me are the things that I see online. The things that bring me anxiety are the things that I see online. I also have a thing where when I feel like I don't have enough time, when I am behind with things, I go to bed too late or I wake up too late, which gives me even less time. It's these, you know, it's when you can identify the counterintuitive things that you do, when you feel a certain way and you start doing something that makes it worse. This is not about shaming yourself. There is so much shame in feeling or noticing the self-sabotage, but try to see it as just your ego and your mind and your body trying to protect you from making the changes that can make a difference. Because everything that is here wants to keep you in a predictable state, even when it's bad, even when you feel bad about it. And this tiny little practice here is just about bringing awareness to what you're doing and why it's happening. And then maybe once you have an awareness of where this is coming from and what this is actually trying to protect you from, that's when we can start making the micro changes that are doable, that we can actually manage to do. So I have my outer circle here. I could probably write more things, but for the sake of this little practice, I won't spend too much time on it. Remember, you can always pause the video and spend as much time on each circle as you like. You can also try to make details, make it look pretty if that brings you comfort, if you enjoy that. But it's not necessary in order to hopefully get something out of it. So we have the next circle here, and this one is about asking yourself what's underneath. Why are we doing the thing that we're doing? Why are we worried? Why are we stressed? Why do we feel this fear when we do this specific thing? Where is it coming from? Again, we're approaching ourselves with curiosity. And we're just kind of, picture yourself like an onion. I keep thinking that from like the movie Shrek, where Shrek describes himself as an onion. And ogres have many layers. Ogres are onions with many layers, but fun fact, so are humans. Humans have many layers. And so see this little practice as us having several layers, and for each question that we ask ourselves, for each layer, we are getting to know ourselves a little bit better. And once we know ourselves a little bit better and get a little bit more self-awareness, that's when we can start making the changes that actually stick, because we understand where it's coming from, and we do things and we act on things that are actually aligned with who we are, but also just how we in general function, whether it's good or it's bad. If we know why we do certain things, that's when we regain the power to make the changes that we want to make. So this circle right here, this is where we ask ourselves, what's underneath that? Why are we stressed? Why are we worried? Why are we overthinking? Why are we procrastinating? Why are we trying to make something perfect that can't become perfect because perfect isn't a thing that even exists? But also perfectionism is kind of disguised under self-sabotage because it's just unobtainable. Why are you trying to make things perfect when it's not actually possible? Why are you procrastinating? It's not laziness. It's not because you're a bad person or you're bad at doing things. Absolutely not. But maybe you can just spend a little bit more time to listen to yourself and see what's going on inside. So I'm just thinking here, why am I stressed? What causes my stress that in return causes me to reach for my phone? For example, that's my example. So for example, regarding the stress and the phone thing, it's very much an anxiety and fear thing related to me. I don't know about you, but I take the world upon my shoulders. And for some stupid reason, I feel like if I just consume more of the suffering of the world, I feel like I'm doing something about it. Like I feel like I need to view it so like that at least I know it. But the self-sabotaging point for me here is that I know that seeing all the suffering and finding the bad stuff on the internet, it literally just freezes me from doing anything, and I just get fearful and anxious and stressed, and I can't deal with life. And so I need to learn other ways too, when life feels overwhelming, when I feel stressed, when I feel anxious for everything that's going on, that I reach for things that ground me instead, like going out in nature or doing a little practice like this. Don't reach for my phone, because then I just feed the thing that I'm trying, or that is like making it all worse. And then we have, when I feel behind, I wrote this in my outer circle, I go to bed too late, or I wake up too late. I do things that give me even less time. But why do I feel behind in the first place? Number one, I think it's because I compare myself with what it looks like other people are all able to fit into their day. I always feel like I don't do as much as other people do. And so I feel behind. So if I can work on not comparing myself. Now that is very hard, of course, but if I can try to find a bit more confidence in just being me, finding confidence in living in alignment with how I actually function, then maybe I can lessen the feeling of being behind. And when I don't feel behind, I feel excited for just doing my art and doing my things, and that automatically invites me to wake up earlier or go to bed earlier because I'm excited to do my things. So there's this like, it's an intricate pattern and cycle of things, but I hope you kind of get the gist of what we're trying to do here. When I feel behind, it's because I'm comparing myself with the beautifully curated lives on the internet. Now again, if you want to make this a longer session and you want to write more, then you can always make your circles bigger and you can pause the video when you need to. I'm going to my next layer now. And for this one, remember the center here, that is us. That is our inner child, our younger selves, where all the patterns and the things started. Why did it start there? Now we're going to ask ourselves, what is it trying to protect? Because that's basically what's going on here. It's trying, these habits and these behaviors are trying to protect us from change and from becoming more evolved people, because change is scary. It makes life unpredictable. Fun fact, life is unpredictable anyways, but I invite you now to try and think, what are these self-sabotaging behaviors trying to protect? Now that we have our outer circle with what the behavior is, in the next circle where we ask ourselves what's underneath, what's causing it? Like, what are the thoughts behind it? And now I invite you to kind of time travel back to your younger self, or just view your life in like from a bird's eye view. What is it trying to protect? Feel free to also give yourself a little bit of color. I think I'll do that before I fill in my circle here. And take all the time you need to think this through. This is mainly a thinking, reflection thing. We're just making it fun by writing the words and adding in color. But you can feel free to just do this mentally as well, if doing the physical practice feels a bit too daunting. Also, fun fact, if you see some white lines, it's because from a previous practice, I apparently wrote a little bit too heavily with my pen, so it's just like gone through the paper. I've given myself, my younger self, a beautiful yellow color. This is peaceful little me, the one who just wants to be loved and protected and feel safe. What self-protection, maybe we shouldn't call it self-sabotage, what self-protecting behaviors do we have? What are we trying to protect this inner circle from? And right now I'm just thinking. I haven't figured out an answer yet to the things that I've written here. I'm just coloring in and enjoying the sound of my colored pencil on paper, the feeling of my pencil on the paper, whilst I quietly reflect for myself. So I think for me, the first one was, why am I stressed, or why am I overwhelmed, or why am I anxious or fearful? You know, and why do I reach for my phone? That makes me even more fearful. Well, I did that because it made me feel like I was giving the suffering the acknowledgement, that I feel like I have to see people suffer because I have to do something. I'm not sure if that makes sense, but the consequence of that is that I just get depressed and make things worse. But the deeper question behind all that is, why am I so fearful of life? Why do I fear life so much? And I fear life so much because there are so much beautiful things in it. And I don't want that. I don't want to see that is being hurt. I don't want the experience of losing people who are everything to me, because I love them. And that brings me to a memory of my fiance. He said, he read it from somewhere else, that Grief is the consequence of love. So I fear life because I love so much. There's nothing wrong in that. But these are like interesting thoughts. And this might even sound like it's not very related to my first phrase, which was, when I'm stressed, I reach for my phone. And then the ultimate conclusion is, I fear life because I love so much. But that is like where the layering part comes in, right? I ask myself superficial, very simple questions. And then I ask another question once I have my answer for that. And this way I can just peel off my own layers and see what is actually the core me? What is the heart of me? Who is the true me, right? And what am I running on? What kind of patterns and behaviors and things am I running on? And why are they there? And again, this way I can identify how I maybe should approach myself a little bit differently so that I can make the changes in alignment with who I truly am. So what I now need to think about, knowing that I fear life because I love so much, I find so much beauty and so much splendor and so much amazingness in it, and I love my people so much, and I love humanity so much and the earth so much. Now I need to think about, knowing this about myself, what are the practices I then can do to comfort that fear? And if I can manage to comfort that fear and feel less stressed about life, then I think I will automatically reach less for my phone because I'm soothing a core part of me. I am finding answers and solutions for a core part of me. I'm not putting on a band-aid on symptoms, which reaching for my phone is. I am really getting to know myself and reflecting and becoming aware of myself. So that's fascinating. Okay, so I still have when I feel behind. So I feel behind because I compare myself to other people, and I compare myself to how much other people are able to do things versus how little I feel like I'm capable of. And why is that important to me? Now I'm asking myself, what is this situation trying to protect? When I feel behind, and I compare myself to other people, it's because I think I want to feel worthy. I want to feel worthy of having a place in this life. And yes, again, this is a very deep statement compared to the other things, but that's the point here. Like, every circle leads you to a deeper revelation of yourself. And I know if there's anything I've struggled with my entire life, it's finding my worth and knowing that my worth lies in just being me. I don't have to do anything. I don't have to accomplish anything or become something to have my worth. And feeling behind is a consequence. No, not a consequence. It's like the aftermath of not having found my worth completely, like not being fully convinced yet, I think, of that I'm just enough as I am. So that's something I need to work on. So I wrote, I feel behind because I tie my worth to external things, external experiences, external achievements. And so now I just have a little nudge, a little invitation to what I can actually look deeper into that will actually encourage and help me to make changes that will work for me. I hope that makes sense. So I think I'm just going to close this right here. I might do this again because this was really interesting. I enjoyed my own little practice here. But yeah, this was just a fun... It was fun, but also to me, I actually had a couple of epiphanies. So I hope it could be something for you as well. And at the end of the day, self-sabotage is so sneaky. It can show up in very many different ways. And we might not always even be aware of that. And that is why I think I invite you to have regular moments, regular times when you just sit with yourself to analyze how things have been, how you're feeling, how you're doing. And if you have a bit more time, take that time to dig a little deeper, to peel away the layers of what's actually going on. Because I personally, this is just my humble opinion, but I think we can only create a life that is truly meaningful and joyful to us if we know ourselves intimately. How we work, how we function, what hurt us, what is traumatizing us, and what are the steps we need to take to help ourselves in that. So with that, I give you all my love. If IMOVARA feels like a safe space, know that I have something called Letters from IMOVARA that you'll get once or twice a month. These are just little letters where I share my thoughts and my reflections and personal stories. I share art and journaling tips and ideas and templates and coloring pages. So if that's something that sounds like a fun thing to receive in your inbox, you can find the link in the description. And yeah. Thank you for today. I hope it could bring some light and some awareness to who you are. And I just want to remind you that you are enough as you are. You are beautiful as you are. And it's just a wonderful thing to be on this journey together to heal and to grow and to give our inner child some comfort, to learn how to regulate our nervous systems and to find more joy and more hope in life. So thank you for being here with me. Mwah. I'll see you again next week. Bye, everyone.